Hi, I'm Tom from Dignity Lifts. I'm going to show you how to install the bidet lift, the WL1. It's a complex system, surely, but it doesn't require a lot of tools to install it. You'll need a pair of pliers, you'll need the Allen wrench and the mini wrench that came with it, and there's also some plumbing parts in the kit that will install it into your toilet. So, expected time for an install is about 20 to 30 minutes, and it requires a little bit of plumbing, but not master plumber work, handyman type stuff. We're going to remove the toilet seat. The first step is to clean the area. You're going to be taking the bolts that hold the toilet seat on and off, so you can get those gross. So I like to just use a wipe to clean the area, so the right tool for this job, for this particular toilet seat, is just a pair of pliers. Simple ones are fine. Sometimes there'll be a slotted screw head at the top as well, so you have to hold the bolt while you use the pliers. But I'm just going to grab onto the nut at the bottom and loosen it up. There's one here. And it doesn't take much before it's hand tight. And I already loosened the other side, so I'm just going to take that one off too. So usually there are long bolts with lots of threads. And then this one. So you're basically getting the toilet seat off so the lift can be closer to the bowl, which is the way you want. All toilet seats are different, but there's only, my experience is there's only a couple of different types of toilet seats. So here you go. So put that aside. You might want to reinstall it at some point, but the toilet is now prepared for us and we're ready to can have a lift installed. First, we're going to assemble the WL1. We're putting on the arms. Everything else is pretty much assembled as you get it, which is nice because it's a pretty complex machine. So there's two arms. One has a two-way switch, which is the up and down button, and that's going to go on the right-hand side. The other arm has a red button, which is the alarm, and that's going to go on the left-hand side. So you're going to make the electrical connection first. There's a white dot on both ends of the wire, and if you line up those white dots, the wire will connect. Then you need to screw on this collar. If the collar immediately doesn't appear, it's probably stuck up here. So you got to kind of shake it out of there. And then it will be there. Screw on this collar, and that will keep the electrical connections nice and safe and secure for the life of the lift. You wouldn't want, after a few months, the thing to stop lifting. So this should slip on, and there's a little pin to make it go straight. You're going to use these little bolts with the white washers and the long Allen wrench that came with your kit. So sometimes you gotta wiggle this a little to line up the holes properly, and then it should go, and then it should screw right in there. I like to do one loosely, and then the second one should line up well. If you do the first one too tight, sometimes the second one won't line up, so just do one at a time. The first one light, second one, when you get it in there, you can tighten it down, and then you can make sure to go back and tighten that first one. So there you go. So now the alarm button will work when the lift is plugged in. The alarm button's loud. It's supposed to be loud to alert anyone if someone's having trouble in the bathroom. So don't go pushing that button lightly. Again, I lined up the white dot and I'm screwing on the collar for the lift switch. And then push this down, line her up, and get the screws going. First one in kind of light. Yeah. It's going to be horizontal, so get it lined up nice and it will thread in there nicely. So come on tight and tighten the first one. All right. It's nice to get those arms in place and they're nice and stable. They're going to be used a lot, and the people using it need the stability. So this is almost entirely assembled, and you're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to plumb the WL1 bidet toilet lift. First thing we want to do is make sure there's as little water as possible in the tank of the toilet. So I'm shutting off the supply line. That will make it so no more water comes in. And then I flush the toilet. That will drain, and I hope you can hold this down for a while. That will drain all the water out of here into the bowl. There'll still be a little bit of water, and we're prepared for that by having a towel underneath where we're working. So, the gist of what we're doing here is we're going to take this piece off the bottom of the toilet. We're going to put this T in its place. So then water that can go to the toilet will also be able to go through this hose to the bidet lift. So we're putting a T in with an extra water supply line that will connect to your bidet. I'm taking this one off, pair of pliers, loosen her up. Typically when it's assembled, it was done hand tight, so it shouldn't be too difficult to do. Sometimes you get some water right here when this comes down. It's usually the water that's left in the tank. So we'll see. Yep, there, that's not too bad. I think I did a good job of treating it. Now, just like this piece, this is the same thread. So it's got a thread on here. Leave it loose for now. This piece will thread on here. Oh, you see that this has a compression fitting, but this does not. So we're gonna wanna put a washer in here. So this connection is gonna get washered. This one that goes to the supply line, that already has like a rubber piece in there that's like a cone shaped, so you won't need the washer. Down here, part of the trick is we're gonna wanna position, see how I have that outlet facing me? That's gonna save me a lot of trouble. You don't want it facing that way, because then putting the supply line is gonna be difficult. There we go. And then you gotta tighten all this down. Once you got it tightened down, and this is facing the right way, you're gonna install this line right here. That will leave it ready to be installed on the back of the washer lift. So there you go. That is how you plumb up the T for your bidet toilet lift. This step tends to confound a few people. This rubber pin is gonna go in this hole. It doesn't really hold anything in place. It just keeps the lift from shifting in the bathroom. So it's not super important. You just want it to hold everything in place. So with this particular toilet, we're gonna put the pin in this way. And then this bolt is gonna go through this bracket and screw into the pin. It's pretty simple, but a lot of people think that like this is as important as the bolt for a toilet seat, when it's really not. The job of this bolt is just to make sure that you can tighten everything down a little bit and your lift won't move around the bathroom. So there you go. That's how they go. Some toilets might have a bigger hole, in which case you can put the rubber pin in this way. Sorry, here we go. So sometimes you can put the rubber pin in from the top with the threads underneath, and then bolt it through like this, and that will sort of squeeze it together that way. But in this case, with this size pin, we went this way. Now, where does this bolt go? That bolt we'll look at next. Now we're gonna attach the crossbar to our pin brackets. Take off the plastic piece, just pulls right off the top. Then I've adjusted the lift so that this cross piece is about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch above the wall. That's the height you're gonna eventually want it. So I can go back till my cross piece is just over the bracket. So then I'll take this bolt, So tighten down our pins as best we can. They're kind of rubber, they won't take a lot of torque, but they'll be locked into that one spot. And then we tighten the bolts that are in that little slot in the crossbar. And this, I mean, now it's all held together. The goal is those pins keep it from moving side to side and forward and aft, so it stays in the right position. And then the feet support all of the weight. So that makes the whole thing as efficient as possible. It's plugged in now, so I can lift and lower the seat, which is really nice. And then the only other thing left is to hook up the bidet. So be sure to plug your WL1 into a GFI outlet. You don't want anyone getting shocks. Let's talk about adjusting the height of the legs. So one way to adjust the height is we do like to have about a 1/4 inch gap between the bottom of the seat and the rim of the bowl. And you can check by seeing if that gap is bigger or smaller, front to back, side to side. And if it is, just unscrew the feet to make it taller or screw them in to make it shorter on that side. So this looks a little like it maybe could go up a little bit here. So just lift it and unscrew it. And then when I got everything where I want it, there's a lock that you can lock down on all 4 legs. And that will make it extra secure. The final step, plumb the bidet. So we got our supply line and it will attach right into the back of the bidet. Tighten that down to start fitting. And good to go. Check our plumbing connections, make sure they're all tight. And we're ready to go. So the bidet will only activate if the lift is all the way down and if someone's sitting on it. So it's not going to spray water all over your bathroom. You have to have a bum on the seat right here. Otherwise, no spray. So that's how you install a WL1 bidet lift by BIdet lifts. This lift not only helps you back up to your feet, but handles all your hygiene tasks as well. I'm Tom from Dignity Lifts. Thanks for watching the video. You can find our products at dignitylifts.com at retailers nationwide. Thank you.